Hello, Neet aspirants. Welcome to NEERAJA'S Biology Academy. You are with Akula Neeraja Prakash. In this video, I would like to give a detailed analysis and also explanation related to 10 questions of 2021 NEET paper related to the subject zoology. Hope which will escalate your results along with your resume. I want to give you a spectrum, so entire spectrum, what is so how you were and how you are, how you will be on July 15th and 16th. Now let us come to the corner. How you were in past 2 to 3 years. Once to recollect how you have done your pure preparation, the day in and day out. You have grinded your days with the books in consistency. Sometimes you don't want to wake up, but you used to wake up. Such type of robust, concrete, solid preparation you have done, which cannot be collapsible. In these past 2 to 3 years, you have reached the stage of germinating to the flowering stage. Almost all, you are in the stage of reproducing the concepts on July 17th. And let us come to the current scenario. So now most of the students are with a hell lot of pressure, hell lot of tensions, and also hell lot of self-doubts. Pressure is due to the appearance of new questions in that particular mock test, or mainly due to some mistakes that you have committed. Related to the mistakes, you have to sort out those mistakes. Mostly students, they used to do silly mistakes, not the questions which you have done mistake, if it is important, and then unravel the particular concept, and then you mark in a particular book separately. The only thing that you have to do on the day of July 15th and 16th is emphasizing the areas or chapters which are having maximum weightage, and also cross-check the questions which you have lost in all these mock tests. Everything you need is already within you. Let us come to May 2021 biology paper explanation, especially zoology, from the question number 151 to 160 related to the P3 code. Let us come to this first question. Erythropoietin hormone, which stimulates RBC formation, is produced by juxtaglomerular cells of kidney, alpha cells of pancreas, the cells of rostral adenohypophysis, and the cells of bone marrow. This hormone is produced by juxtaglomerular cells of the kidneys. JG cells are located near to the glomerulus, which are modified smooth muscle cells located in the afferent renal arteriole. These cells, they release a hormone known as erythropoietin, which is involved in the formation of RBC. For the RBC production, cortisol, thyroxine, and androgens are also responsible. JJ cells are also involved in the secretion of the renin-angiotensinogenase, which is released when the blood pressure is decreased or glomerular filtration rate is decreased. And if we come to the alpha cells of pancreas, these are the cells which are involved in the secretion of glucagon hormone. It is a hypoglycemic hormone, which is antagonistic to the insulin hormone. And if we come to the cells of rostral adenohypophysis, these are the cells which are associated with the pars distalis and the cells of bone marrow. Hematopoietic stem cells are produced right from the bone marrow. It is associated with the myeloid progenitor and lymphoid progenitor. Myeloid progenitor, it produces megakaryocytes, eosinophils, basophils, erythrocytes, monocytes, and also neutrophils. Monocytes are the cells which are differentiated into dendritic cells and also macrophages. When the partial pressure of oxygen is less in the surrounding environmental conditions, at that time, saturation of hemoglobin is decreased. Thereby, it cannot supply adequate amount of oxygen to the functional cells. In order to combat this, especially erythropoietin hormone is released. As a result, hemoglobin content is increased, RBC count is also increased. And then it is observed mostly in case of the people who are present in the hill station areas in whom polycythemia condition is observed. Many times we got this question related to assertion and reason. So athletes from many sports have used altitude training because to compensate the decrease in the oxygen level, as a result, erythropoietin hormone is released. The training at a high altitudes, athletes aim to allow the bodies to produce extra blood cells. Head to competition at lower elevations to take advantage of their changed physiology that should last for nearly 10 to 20 days. Which of the following characteristics is incorrect with respect to cockroach? Almost all these statements are picked from the previous year NEET 2020 paper phase 2, which were given in the form of match the following. 10th abdominal segment in both the sexes bear a pair of anal cerci. Yes. A ring of gastric caecum is present at the junction of midgut and hindgut. It's a wrong statement. Also, where a ring of gastric caecum are located at the junction of foregut and their midgut region. Hypopharynx lies within the cavity enclosed by the mouth parts. It's a correct statement. In case of females, 7th and 9th sterna together form a genital pouch. In case of males, so dorsal side, 9th and 10th tergal plates are present, and on the ventral side, so 9th sternal related to the genital pouch. This is the mouth parts related to hypopharynx is encircled by the mouth parts. And one more point I want to add here. The mandible is associated with the grinding region and incision region. Chances are there for us to get the diagram based questions. If we come to the genital pouch area, genital pouch in case of females is associated with the genital chamber or vestibula. Succus entericus is referred to as the intestinal juice. Partially digested acidic food of the stomach is known as a chyme. Here, by observing this, every year you are getting questions related to the digestive glands and their secretions or their mode of action. So if we come to the gastric juice, gastrin is a hormone responsible for release of this gastric juice. Secretin and pancreocymine are the hormones responsible for release of the pancreatic juice. Enterocrinin is a hormone responsible for the release of intestinal juice. So here, gastric juice consists of proteolytic enzymes renin and pepsinogen. Pancreatic juice is associated with the trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, and 4-carboxypeptidase. Intestinal juice is associated with the aminopeptidases and then tri- and dipeptidases. We come to the carbohydrate digesting enzymes. They are absent in case of gastric juice. Related to the pancreatic juice, amylase is present. Maltase, lactase, sucrase, or the enzymes which are present in the succus entericus. Fat digesting enzymes are known as lipases, which are present in the gastric juice, pancreatic, and also intestinal juice. Nucleic acid digesting enzymes are absent in case of gastric juice. Nucleases are present in the pancreatic juice. Nucleotidases and nucleosidases are present in the intestinal juice. In 2018, we got a question related to this particular area. Damage to the oxyntic cells or parietal cells leads to anemia. And the special secretion associated with the intestinal juice is a lysozyme. Once we got this question in 2018. Lysozyme is secreted by Paneth cells of the intestine. Which stage of the meiotic prophase shows terminalization in the chiasmata as a distinctive feature? Every year we are getting the question related to the meiosis. So meiosis is also known as reduction division, and the cells which undergo meiosis are known as meiocytes. Meiosis 1 is associated with the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Prophase stage of the meiosis 1 is the lengthy phase, and it is associated with leptotin, zygotin, packaging, diplotin, and diakinesis stages. During the prestige of leptotin, so where condensation of the chromosomes takes place. Bucket formation, bucket stage is observed during leptotin stage. Pairing of homologous chromosomes occur during zygotin stage. During packaging stage, where crossing over takes place. Diplotin stage, where so chiasmata is observed, X-shaped chiasmata is observed. Terminalization process is associated with the diakinesis stage. In 2020 also, we got the question related to in the form of match the following. You can see this question after meiosis one, the resultant daughter cells they have twice the amount of DNA in comparison with the top haploid gamete. The partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide at alveoli are. So this is the question which appeared in 2016 phase 2, and also we got this in 2015. So here is the table where you can come across the partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide at different areas in the atmospheric air, alveoli, and then deoxygenated blood, oxygenated blood, and also in the tissues. Now let us see the percentage of oxygen in the inhaled air and exhaled air, 21 and then 16 respectively. And the percentage of carbon dioxide in the inhaled and exhaled air, 0.04 and then 4% respectively. Generally, right from this particular chapter, we will get the questions every time, almost all, every year we are getting questions related to lung volumes and capacities. And then related to the disorders. You may get the statement type of questions right from this particular diagram. The partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the pulmonary vein is equal to the systemic arteries. The partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the pulmonary artery is equal to the systemic veins. Related to the animal kingdom, generally used to get one question in the form of match the following. Physalia, it is considered as Portuguese man of war, which belongs to phylum Cnidaria. Limbless is considered as living fossil and commonly known as a king crab. Other living fossils are Neopelena, Latimeria chalumnae or coelacanth fish, and also Spinodon. Ankylostoma duodenale, which belongs to the phylum Ascahelminthes. It's an organism which is commonly known as a hookworm. Pinctada, which is known as a pearl oyster, which belongs to phylum Mollusca. It is an organism where the radula is absent. Next question. During the process of gene amplification using PCR, if very high temperature is not maintained in the beginning, then which of the following steps of PCR will be affected first? Carey Mills is the scientist who turned the idea of polymerase chain reaction into reality. He used Taq polymerase enzyme, which was extracted right from Thermus aquaticus, which can withstand maximum temperature fluctuations. And in this reaction, it includes 3 steps: denaturation, annealing, and extension processes. The step which is known as denaturation, where the temperature 90 to 94 degrees centigrade is required. As a result, separation of the 2 strands of DNA takes place. And the next step is annealing. The primers, they go and attach to at 3' end of the DNA strand. Next step is extension, where adding of DNPPs will occur during the process of extension. And then as a number of DNA fragments that are amplified after 30 cycles, it is 1 billion, that is 2 to the power of 13. At the end of 29 cycles, it is 500 million, that is 2 to the power of 29. And we got this types right from the same area. Many times we got the question every year, almost all you see 2019, 18, 17, and also in 2012. Now let us come to match list 1 with list 2. You can see every year we are getting the questions right from this particular area. That much important. In the form of mostly in the form of match the following. So Aspergillus niger, which is involved in the secretion of citric acid. Acetobacter aceti is used in the preparation of acetic acid. Industrial production of butyric acid can be done by using Clostridium botulinum. Lactobacillus vulgaricus is used for the production of lactic acid. And if we come to some more examples, Saccharomyces is an yeast where fungus, which is used in the production of ethanol. Streptococcus, where the bacteria, which is involved in the production of streptokinase enzyme, which is used as a clot buster. Monascus purpureus, it's a fungus where right from the statins are produced, and then which is used in the lowering of the blood cholesterol. Statins acts as a competitive inhibitor in HMG-CoA pathway, which is involved in the synthesis of cholesterol. Competitive inhibition is related to HMG-CoA reductase enzyme. Chances are there for us to get this particular area in which way, what is the mechanism, and it acts as a competitive inhibitor, beta hydroxy beta methyl glutamyl CoA reductase. And then trichoderma fungus, where cyclosporin is extracted, and then it is used as an immunosuppressant. A person who has undergone organ transplantation, for them cyclosporin A is used as immunosuppressant to suppress the graft rejection. Which of the following statements wrongly represents the nature of a smooth muscle? Related to the evolutionary point of view, smooth muscles are the first evolved muscles. They are seen for the first time in case of platyhelminthes organisms. Muscles are derived from mesoderm except the muscles of iris and then ciliary body. The smooth muscles are the muscles without any striations. They are also considered as visceral muscles because they are present in the walls of the visceral organs. They are associated with a single nucleus, and then these muscle cells are with the tapering ends. So normally, where gap junctions are present or connexons are present, that helps in the movement of the ions from one muscle cell to other muscle cells. But here, the fourth option, if we observe, communication among the cells is performed by intercalated discs. Intercalated discs are not observed in case of smooth muscles. They are seen in case of cardiac muscles. Mostly we will get the questions right from this particular area in the form of statements. And then let us come to the next question. Chronic autoimmune disorder affecting neuromuscular junction lead to fatigue, weakening, and paralysis of the skeletal muscles is called. It is known as myasthenia gravis. If you come this particular 2020 phase 2 paper, you will come across the gout disease and muscular dystrophy, which are given here in the form of options. Gout disease is an inborn error of a purine metabolism where hyperuricemia is observed. Uric acid formation is more because of deficiency of a hypoxanthine guanine phosphoribosyl transferase enzyme. And the next option which was given is arthritis. Two different types of arthritis are seen. Rheumatoid arthritis. It is an autoimmune disorder. It is observed in case of joints. Osteoarthritis. Degeneration of articular cartilage is observed. It is not an autoimmune disorder. And the next one is myasthenia gravis, where the acetylcholine receptors which are present on the sarcolemma are detected as non-self cells by our immune system. As a result, antibodies are produced and cause damage to those receptors. Thereby, acetylcholine, it will not go and trigger the muscle functional activities. Consequently, it leads to impairment in the impulse transmission. Muscular dystrophy, group of diseases that cause progressive weakness of muscles. Different types of abnormalities that are associated with the muscles are put together known as a muscular dystrophy. Myotonic dystrophy is autosomal dominant allele disorder. like hemophilia and color blindness. So Duchenne muscular dystrophy is also an X-linked recessive allele disorder. Which of the following muscular disorder is inherited? So where muscular dystrophy, which is an X-linked recessive allele disorder. And then if we come to different types of autoimmune disorders, Hashimoto disease, hypothyroiditis, Graves' disease, hyperthyroiditis, rheumatoid arthritis, myasthenia gravis, multiple sclerosis, systemic lupus erythematosus, Addison's disease, pernicious anemia, and then diabetes mellitus type 1 type, psoriasis. All these are different types of autoimmune disorders which appear in different years. By observing all these questions, I hope that you might have developed awareness related to the importance of solving of previous year NEET papers. It's you versus you. Make sure you win. Meet you in the upcoming videos. Thank you.